That's exactly it. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Shadows We Fear here on Immersive Realms. I am your ever-loving host, as per usual, Matt with Power, aka Chef, aka Matt, and as per the usual, I am joined by my ever-glorious and basking light players. Hello, players.
Hello, DM.
Hello, Matt.
Thank you. Before we jump into tonight's episode, a quick little apology for being late. There were some little issues to begin with, some technical stuff, the joys of, but we're here now, and we love you all dearly for your patience. Any announcements?
Yes, sir. We have Matt with Power coming in with a resubscription for 14 months. So
I heard he's a wrongin'. Don't thank him.
So thank you very much, Matt with Power. I don't know how much power he has, but I'm pretty sure I'm about to find out. But
Matt with limited power.
But
You fools.
other than that, just the usuals. Please come and join us on our socials, join our Discord, come join the conversation. We've got an exciting thing coming up very, very soon, which we'll be able to announce soon-ish. But keep an eye on Discord for that. But that's everything I've got. So, Matt, you ready?
2 seconds, I'm replying to Winnie.
Oh, well.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to plug the
Are you
Discord,
ready?
but I've
Catch?
just not when I can.
Yep.
Back to you.
Hey, there we go. Look at that, in code as well.
Thank you.
But with that out the way, then, thank you all so much for your patience.
Stop!
Oh, well done, Ghost.
I was going to
He
say we
gifted
have a gift here.
And sub.
Gifting
Well,
subs.
You were like, oh, join the Discord, and I'm like, I can't do the command because I was mid through the PayPal menu.
Oh, I
Thank
see.
you, and Ghost, and Bren's _67. Enjoy your ad-free viewing experience.
That's man
That's me.
over this way.
Bren67.
No. They're gonna let me change my username to I'm right now.
Well, enjoy your ad-free viewing experience. Well, with that out of the way, though, let's jump into tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear. Excuse me, and also side note, bear with me, I think I've come down with a little buggy, so everyone, players in chat, please bear with me if I need to take little cough breaks. But, last we left off, our party, after stopping a disaster from a ship crashing into the port city of Brazenfort, had decided that they needed to do a little rescue mission for a dear friend who's gone missing, Emmerich. Rescue or arrest was really what was on the table at this point, as it was unclear why Emmerich had gone missing and done what he's done, or where he's even up to. But asking around, you were able to ascertain he has managed to go back to Horizon. You went to said city and had a little shopping experience, and some interesting conversations happened. You found a brand new pyramid scheme in the Harmony Collection. You reconnected with some old friends and made some new friends, some with benefits, who knows, and got some new magical items. You then were able to then go to the House of Barrow in the city of Horizon, do apologize, where indeed you found your missing wizard, Emmerich Barrow himself. Turns out he had been lying, but not lying about what you thought he had been. He's been lying about his parents being alive. Turns out the reason he's been missing is after he dropped you guys off, he felt a bit homesick, and what turned to be a flying visit has ended up him just staying in Horizon. But you managed to talk him back out and snap him to his senses almost, and he's agreed to come back to Pavmar with you. And that's basically where we left off. So bear with me, let me get some stuff pulled up here. There we go. You guys spend the night inside the Barrow household. Those who wish can enjoy fine wine and a selection of various finger foods, as Emmerich can't be bothered cooking, and as the house has been sat empty, there is no servants, as there might normally be. As it gets close to midnight, Emmerich will insist that he retire to his bed, but not before showing you all to your own individual rooms. Being a big house, there are plenty of guest rooms in this large abode, where you can find yourselves each your own individual room to rest your weary bones upon very comfy and lush beds. And you all do in time, retire to your own bedrooms one by one, and drifting off to a nice, peaceful and relaxing sleep. Better than being on the road as you have been for the last, probably week at this point. Come the morning, there is a visible chill in the air inside your bedrooms, and you can peer out your windows, and you can see that a layer of frost and a very light dusting of snow on the ground. Nothing deep by any means, more like the ground has been sprinkled with light powder that will soon vanish in the morning sun. The clouds above are low and light grey, as if threatening at any point to unleash a true snowstorm. You guys all say wake up then. As you guys one by one come downstairs in the morning, you will see Emmerich is already up and he's currently in the kitchen, making himself a couple of hot beverages for you guys all. He's got a couple of teapots out and he greets you all a good morning as you guys do come down one by one. And again, breakfast is a very various assortment of whatever he's basically got in the cupboard at this point. Again, the house being empty as it has been, he's not been stocking. That's enough. And once you're all downstairs, he'll then... So, I guess we are going back to our dear capital city, Pavmar, as and when you're all ready. Excuse me.
Yeah, unless you have anything you need to do here. So,
No. I've, spoken to who I need to speak to, the headmistress of this tower, and given her my official notice that I'm not ever going to take the position that should be mine. It is formally hers forever. I'm not coming back here to study and be a headmaster.
how are you feeling about that?
It's funny, I should be feeling bad, I should be feeling upset, but do you know what? Nothing's actually changed. I just have formally told someone finally instead of just running away from home. Like a teenager.
Does that mean they're going to cut off your paycheck?
Oh, definitely. So I'm going to have to go groveling to you guys now. Looking towards you directly.
I mean, I don't have anything left.
Well, I don't mean right now,
try
but, you know, it would be nice for the crown to recognize my talents and pay me a salary.
I'm sure that'll. Honestly, I thought you were getting one already, to be honest. that's yeah.
I've been getting little bits here and there, but no, my main source of income has been from this place and my parents' inheritance. But I will be selling this house as well, and formally cutting all ties here. I've spoken to who I need to speak to about that, and in time it'll all be sorted. It's now boring paperwork and admin stuff that I'm not touching. I've got enough back in Pavma waiting for me, I dare say. Your sister's probably been
Cool.
piling up the paperwork for me.
It's likely to be safer as well with that Archmage tied here.
Well, there's an element of that too. Safe inside the city walls, as I should be under house arrest, technically speaking.
Well,
But it was good to
have
stretch
my
my
eye on
legs. Yes, I do. And again, I thank you for that, and I will not abuse the power as I did this time.
just maybe let someone know when you're going off.
I'll leave a note hidden somewhere. Or I'll tell them it's insignificant servant, and that means I've technically speaking told someone.
That would be a whole lot more helpful than tracking you across the line top.
My apologies, friends. But let me know when you're ready. I'm going to go say my goodbyes to my folk, and then we shall be away. Bloody chilly outside. And with that, he'll pop on a nice big fur coat and see himself out, and as you sort of watch, he'll then head towards the tree where you saw the plaque before, leaving you guys alone in his house for a little bit.
Alright, well, we found Emmerich, at least. What now?
I guess back to Pavmar and find out what's going on. Try and find out any information we've got. See if we've got any sort of tidings from the Shadowfell. See if we know. Get information on X. Yeah, we've got a little bit of essentially information gathering before we can figure out what's next. Unless anybody's got anything personal, I think we're trying to find what's next for us and what's coming. The final say, the Shadowfell.
Agreed. Does anyone have any other sense that they want to address?
I have nothing. My business is with Hex Warbringer, but if she is nowhere in sight and we have no leads, then I have no problem diverting from the mission.
We'll figure it out. We'll find something.
What about you, Lavender? Is there anything you want to address before? Or anything you'd like to cover, Wash?
No, I think you all sat and watched most of that, so I don't think we have to go and redo that again.
All right.
What about you, Falcoris? Are you wanting to tie in with your old unit? I know we found Bucky and everything, but
Good. Commander told me that basically Mirage unit are on the low right now, waiting to be activated. So it's fine. Whatever they're doing. We'll probably come across them at some point. I've got nothing else right now, really. A few bits and bobs, but nothing more important than finding X and figuring out what the fuck is next with this final say shit.
great.
Well, Pavmar, I guess.
It's a bad one.
Um,
Starting to get sick of spending so much time at home.
you're gonna do a runner again?
Constantly. We'll see.
Just as bad as
Let's
Emmerich.
see this through first, at least.
DM, I would like a moment alone if it's Falcoris.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll
You
speak
can
to
easily get in this house, go to the room that you stayed in last night, or any other quarter of the house where your friends aren't.
I'll summon a sword and place it on my lap. Like, I'll sit down and summon the sword and place it on my lap.
Yep.
And I will pull out the long sword, the +1 long sword. And I'll say to Lucia, I'll just be like, Lucia, as much as I love my elven longsword, and it's been around me for, since I can remember. My Uncle Sam gave me it a long time ago. I like it. I can tell this one, and I'll pick up the +1. This one's got a little bit more to it. Can you imbue your power through this one?
She stays quiet for a little bit. You know, I haven't forgiven you for yesterday, but yes, I can.
I'm sorry.
I don't think you are. But yes, I can.
Alright. What happens to my elven longsword?
It will become material again. I won't have a say or hold over it anymore. I'm basically giving it back to you.
Alright. You know what? It's about time I got a sheath for it then, and stop walking around like I don't have a sword.
Sure, yeah, probably a good idea, yeah.
Do you need me to do anything with this one? And I'll pick up the +1.
Nope. Just, 2 seconds, please. And you can just basically feel in your head this vibration of energy. And you can feel this energy go down your shoulders, through your chest, and down into your arms, and the energy coalesces and seems to build up in the very tips of your finger. And you see then the sword that you summoned, your sword, and the +1 new long sword, I keep calling it the +1, you know what I mean, the new sword, begin to levitate in front of you. And you simply watch as you can hear Lucia then begin to almost strain herself a little bit. And you can see that the dark shadows have been holding on to this sword, your sword, for a long time as you begin to summon and desummon it. The shadows that coalesce begin to move and merge over onto this new sword. And it's almost like, even though the sword, the one that your Uncle Sam gave you all those many years ago, you've always been able to see it, sorry. It's almost like for the first time in a long time since Lucia was placed inside your head by Madame Meyer, the sword begins to, as if puzzle pieces out of nowhere, begins to coalesce and become a solid item again. Until with this final, there's a pulse of energy and your old sword onto the ground, and the new sword stays hovering.
Alright. I would imagine that the
Fuck, shit. Did it?
I would imagine the elven longsword that I had originally, it used to be a beautiful elven longsword, you know, that kind of golden, almost seamless looking sword, but it was kind of warped and blackened by the magic that obviously Lucia put through
Lucia
it.
gives.
I would say
Yep.
that it's still warped and blackened. There's a little bit of the gold that peeks through now compared to what it was.
It's more like it's been stained, as you say. It's not like it's permanently warped.
Yeah.
It goes back to its original shape. And again, Lucia's influence, let's call it, had warped the shape of it when it was in her command sort of thing. It goes back to its complete original shape. And again, you can see the golden elven filigrees and the fanciness of elven design. But it's now stained black, with now and again you sort of see pushing through like a rusty coin, the original colour shines through the black now and then.
And then the +1, my, I suppose, pack
Your new
weapon now,
sword, yep.
that takes on that warp shape. The metal kind of bends and warps as well, and kind of, it almost looks the same as the way the elven longsword is, but you can tell it's not the elven longsword. You can tell it was like a kind of other longsword, but it still takes a similar shape in a way it looks, and the blackened and a bit of the mist, the kind of black mist, kind of falling off it a little bit. But Falcoris will then do what he always does and becomes like second nature to him, is dismiss the sword. And then the +1 longsword disappears, the pack sword now, and he's elven longsword standing and just sitting there, and he'll look at it and smile and then go, oh fuck, I've not got a sheath right now. Shit. Oh well. Shit, I'm gonna carry it.
That one through. Well, you can, sure. Yeah, sure. You can go back to that shop and buy a sheath if you fucking want.
All right, let's yeah, you're gonna have to unpack that.
How, of course.
It's
What
just,
has been seen cannot be unseen.
I know, Lucia, but you're just gonna have to do it. It's unfortunately
Some things that you don't share with your friends.
yeah. Well, you're in my fucking mind. I literally cannot take a shit without you watching.
I need you to swear a vow of celibacy before me right now. Until we sort this out, no touchy, no feely.
Fine.
Good. Then once I'm out of your head, you can do whatever and whoever the fuck you want.
All right. Fine.
Thank you. I'll repay the favor, don't worry.
I'm not sure how that. Sure. Let's go. And he'll stand up and he'll just kind of carry the longsword, literally holding it by his blade, just walking through. You guys watch as Falcoris, who generally doesn't have his sword on him, doesn't have anything on him except maybe a dagger, just comes through, just holding his longsword, just holding it by the blade, not even by the hilt, just walks through.
Yeah.
Euphemism.
Sorry.
Sounds like a euphemism.
Well, I got my longsword out.
Oh, you shouldn't be doing that in front of ladies, mate.
Oh,
You know,
it's very private.
The handle. Right.
Sorry.
You're supposed to hold those by the handle.
Ah, it's all right. I've had plenty of training with this. It's like my arm.
Is there any reason why it's out?
So Falcoris will
Not
set it on the
in
table.
your little pocket dimension.
Yeah, Falcoris will set it on the table and then summon the other sword. That answers your question, pretty much. Right, desummon the other sword, pick up my sword again by the blade, and just kind of, right, off to Pavmar.
Yeah, Emmerich's outside.
Let us go.
You guys all leave the house, and again, as you sort of leaving, you can almost see like Emmerich's been sort of sitting down. You can hear him mumbling, either to himself or to the grass. But hearing your footsteps approach, he sort of stands up and he gives himself a brush of imaginary dust off his jacket, turns around. Shall we, dear friends?
Yeah, ready when you are.
Very well. If you would all please gather in the circle, keep your hands and feet inside the teleportation at all times, or fear of losing them otherwise. And let's go back to our dear favourite capital city, shall we? with that, you all stand in the circle, and again, do keep your hands, feet, and arms inside the vehicle at all times, as the teleportation magic that you are far more than used to, probably by Australian by this point, says there is the rapid deatomization and reatomization of your being inside the capital city of Pavmar, here in the Redfall. You enter into the main throne room, as Emmerich would often like to teleport you into, as it's sort of the go-to spot at this point, where it's the safest and most secure. As you guys are teleported in, there's this blast of magic and arcane. A few of the little papers that might be on the nearby table sort of get blown up and then fall back down in place again. There's no place like... And a voice calls out as one of the guards yells, "Stop right there," in your direction. And all of a sudden you guys watch as 3 lions bum rush Emmerich and grab him.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's this about? Slow down.
Queen's orders, he's under arrest for being missing. Need to figure out if he's friend or foe.
And
He's a dear friend. Would you good heavens, guards!
Falcor's going to back off and just go, to be fair, you kind of deserved it, not saying. But,
Yes,
okay.
can you get Elena, please?
Let him go, let him go, let him walk.
Not without the princess's orders.
We'll
You have the king here.
personally escort.
Mickey.
Again, I mean, my authority doesn't supersede Elena's at this point, but we're here to personally escort him to Elena.
We will accompany you then.
By all means.
So Emmerich has been shackled at this point. Like, there are some manacles on his wrists. And you can see if anyone looks, these are anti-arcane. So you can see these manacles are etched with different runes that basically stop a magic user having their full potential.
Oh, you really pissed her off, Emmerich. Oh, shit.
Good. Fine. Do you know what? I can't even be mad. I did kind of deserve this, didn't I? At that point, as he then gets taken along, and again, she's not actually in the throne room. What happens is you guys are escorted out into the gardens, where your mother, Elena, would like to tend to the roses and all the various flowers and wild gardens. And you can see that, indeed, you can see Elena and your mother are sitting there in the middle, and it's almost like your mum's trying to teach Elena how to really be a good gardener this time. Elena's never had the green thumb, unfortunately. That's one of the things she wished she did. You know, it's one of those things that, God, I wish I could fucking garden, but she's never been quite good at it. So her mum's giving her a little lesson how to tend to a garden in the winter months as they come closer. And as the sound of you plus these 3 heavily armored lions and a huffing Emmerich are dragged through the gardens, it gets their attention.
Sorry to disturb your lesson.
No. Emmerich.
Well,
Elena smiles.
I'll be a good boy and give my mother a hug.
You walk over and give your mum a hug. Elena, you and Elena sort of like change places a little bit as you and her walk past each other. She stands in front of you guys, the Twilight Company, and is dagger eyeing Emmerich right now. Where have you been? Darling, I've been at my own home. I have one, remember. But without telling me? Yes, well, the pangs of homesickness and other emotions got the better of me. I'm sorry, Your Highness. But I am here, and the Twilight Company will, I hope, he gives you guys all look 1 will testify. I'm here to stay this time. I'm, from the bottom of my heart, Elena, deeply, deeply sorry. She looks at all the rest of you guys. Is he?
Yeah.
Yes.
He had some personal things that he didn't give himself the time to deal with because he wanted to look after us. I think he deserved that time. It would have been nice if he asked for it, or at least let us know he was taking it, but he needed that time.
He's been warned his timing was shitty.
That's an understatement, Falcorus. Let him go. Without hesitation, the guards immediately undo the arcane manacles, and Emmerich does the whole movie, rubs his wrists sort of thing. Well, thank you, Your Highness. I'm guessing there's plenty of paperwork. You might want to get ahead of yourself. You're already behind. With haste. And he gives a nice deep bow and begins to walk to the throne room.
How's things here?
Everything was okay till yesterday. We've had an attack. Well, I say an attack. We believe Hex might have trapped her room where she was staying. There was an explosion, and a few people died. We were trying to get more information about her. And it's... yeah. There's a little, hostel she was staying at, I've been told, called Mary Stays in the in the Shade Ward. We got wind that she was staying there after speaking to some of the refugees, but when we went to go acquire a key and into her chamber, the chamber exploded. The Crown will cover the costs, and after investigation we'll rebuild Mary Stays to open up and pay appropriate compensation, of course, but any evidence that was in that room has gone up in smoke, apparently.
Was how many people were injured?
2 lions and 1 civilian.
Oh,
All right.
great.
These things happen, I guess, when you're a traitor. You're not going to cover your tracks like that.
Well, Trail's gone cold. She teleported. We have no way of tracking her at the moment. So basically, we're going to have to be ready to firefight the next time she pops up. It's the next time we have information on her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you... anything you can do at Mary Stays, the place is... well, her room is ash, and we're sifting through it still, and there's nothing there that we can tell. But again, if you are wanting to go there, you're more than welcome. Though I do actually have something for you, Israelian. You asked for a contract. Something's come up. I don't have it to my hand now, but if you want to come to the throne room, I'm sure I can give you something that might catch your eye, if you're after coin and contracts.
Yes, I will accompany you to your throne room.
Thank you. The rest of you, if you want to obviously come. If not, you have other business to attend to, then by all means.
I may take a trip down to the Shade Ward, see if I can see anything.
Of course.
The long shot, seemingly, but
It's better than nothing, though. I'd rather have, not that I don't trust my people, but, the eyes of my brother. I'm going to be biased in that way. Unshamefully.
I'll go with Israelian.
Brilliant.
Is that a solo outing to the Shade Ward, or
you can come with if you'd like. Probably appreciate the company.
that would be all right?
Yeah.
Lavender, where would you like to go? Would you want to go to the throne room, the Shade Ward, or something totally different?
I'll just go to the throne room, I guess.
Go to the throne room with Falcoris and Israelian. Perfect, thanking you. So, you guys are off to the Shade Ward. We'll do that first, actually, if you two don't mind. Now, as you guys are leaving the palace, can I get Wash to make a perception check for me, please?
Can we don't need to RP this as well, but before we go, can I just do the pleasantries, go see everyone I need to see, like Gwen and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Gwen will be happy to see you. She'll be obviously back so soon. She's going to do the whole thing. You see, and you go. She's like, "Oh, we just got here," sort of thing. We'll have that conversation with her, but she would like you to at least stay the night. Is what she will convey.
Don't worry. Let me do something tonight. I'll come collect you at the 8th bell.
All right. The 8th bell it is. Nice. And again, you'll see anybody else. You'll spend a little bit of time with your mum as well in the garden to see how she's doing. She's doing quite well. Adjusting now to everything that's happened with your father, obviously, and everything else in between. and she has been apparently vital in the recent renegotiations with the Republic of Tiberium following the whole Emmerich situation there. Since Emmerich seems to get himself in quite a few situations, we'll care to say. Mm-hmm. But yes, Wash, what was your perception check, please, buddy?
18.
18. As you two are, you obviously, actually, I'm going to backtrack this. So as you and Ella will agree you're going to go do this, and you have that little moment alone where he always tells you he's going to go time with a couple of folk and just leaves you aside for like an hour, maybe not even that. You're standing wherever you might be waiting for him at an agreed rendezvous point, and as you're just sort of milling around, people watching in your own little head sort of thing, you see a maid, a very beautiful maid, keeps giving you an eye from across the corridors. Stunning. And she's now and again will just look up and give a little half smile, brush a bit of hair over her ear, and then go back to pretending to work. Very obvious to see with an 18 that she's just pretending to work.
In like a suspicious watching me kind of way.
She's got her eyes on you. And she's not being subtle. Every time, like, she will happily make eye contact and give you a smile.
How the fuck do I do this?
Would you care for my harmony ring?
You got the new Harmony collection, yeah.
You know, he's just gonna stare. Just hold stare.
Mm-hmm.
Just see what happens. 'Cause he's curious, but he's not. He's like, yeah, whatever.
You
He's just gonna hold the stare, essentially.
for a little bit, and at one point, again, you finally catch your eye, and it goes from that glance to holding stare. And she stops pretending to work and begins to walk down the corridor very deliberately past you, then going around a corner. But before she turns the corner, she gives you one last little look and with her little finger before she disappears around the corner.
Okay, Wash is confused. I'll be honest. That thick as a brick when it comes to this. He will go. That's fine, but cautiously, because he's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
You cautiously edge around the corner, sort of thing, almost like ready to karate chop someone in a moment's notice. And you see it's a quieter corridor than this one. It's one not the minor corridors per se, but it's a quieter corridor. And you can see that she's standing in front of an open door and is waiting for you to peer around before she gives you a very sultry smile and disappears into this room, leaving the door open, ajar.
What the fuck are you trying to do?
That's what fucked my players. Andy got his hole last time. I want to get you to get yours this time.
Listen, I know I've never seen Bi Panic fully like this, but there you go.
You know what? He'll recognize it. He'll go. He'll shut the door, and then walk down the corridor.
You just walk
Not
past the door and
interested
close it.
at all. Yep.
Cool. No, not a problem at all. As you shut the door and walk past, there's a moment as you're sort of going down the corridor and you hear the door open, and an annoyingly familiar voice calls out to you. Darling, don't do that. Please come back.
Familiar?
Pretty, please. Do you turn?
Sure. I'll turn. if
You
it's
see
familiar.
a succubus standing in the door.
Oh, you.
Oh my god, here we go.
I knew you were doing something. Fucking smelt it a mile away.
Don't be so boring, darling, please. Entertain me a little bit.
You know how fucked up that would be for me to even consider.
I'll swap your places.
Well, again, for Nikki's benefit, let me inform you how this woman does look. Where is her description again? Sorry. So she has fire red skin with black horns coming out of her head, framed by hair as black as coals. She has a pair of wings that sprout from her back, darker than her skin color just. Her eyes are dancing amber, there are actually fires in the iris. She is dangerously beautiful, very scantily dressed as per the usual, and she's adorned, if you remember, with chains that go from her shoulders down to her arms that have manacles hanging off the end of the chains. As she's standing in this doorway, just looking at you now with a very sultry smile.
Awooga.
I'm gonna start walking towards her slowly.
She opens the door a little bit wider for you. On you go.
Very slowly equip my my hammer.
No problem at all. As the hammer slides into main weapon inventory slot.
Just thinking Doomslayer walk now, essentially.
Yeah. She rolls her eyes a little bit and push the door open a little bit wider for you. Not like that. Don't be so. Come in.
You better have a decent fucking reason, because trust me, I'm not in the fucking mood to fuck with you today.
How does the promise that I made you and Joel sound?
You got a recollection on that promise? Because I can't fucking remember.
Joel made a promise to her that he'll give her the final say sword. In return, she's going to find out information on the architect.
He'll relax a little bit and says, "Yeah, all right, fine. At least if it was a deal, then you'll honor it, I suppose."
Exactly. Come in before anyone sees me.
He'll go in, but more with like sort of eye roll, sort of like, "Oh, fuck's sake."
Yeah. You'll go in and she'll close the door behind you if you don't do it yourself. I've been wanting to obviously tell this to Joel, but he's not been around lately. Is everything okay? I miss him.
Just get to the point.
God, you and him are good friends, aren't you? Both as boring as each other. Well, as you remember, he gave me a very lovely gift, and in return I had to find out some very important information for him. I would want this to go to his ear, so if you wouldn't mind being a darling and passing on, like a good little boy that you are. The architect. It might be the case that his dealings with the Raven Queen go way back. So far back, in fact, that he might be part of the reason she ascended to godhood. But that's not what Joel wanted. Oh no, I've got something tastier than that. He's been letting her keep him around, apparently. He likes it. He likes that she keeps asking him favors. The final say and Joel being perfect examples. Now, I can't say where I got this information from. That'd be telling. However, I believe he's keeping himself in her pocket, so at some point he can try and overthrow her. Put his foot in the door of Elysium. How marvelous would that be? Heaven and earth, heaven and hell, at war with one each other again. Tingles, darling.
I don't think you'd want that war again.
No, I really
Specifically,
wouldn't.
You.
I really wouldn't, no. Genuinely. Why'd you think I'm telling you this? A war with my people and the gods would be catastrophic beyond belief. No fun either.
Yeah, you've got really no fucking clue.
No. And that's the best thing, darling. I don't think I do, and I don't think I want to get a clue either. Not my cup of tea. Now, I'm not in a position to do anything about this, but you and your friends, maybe. I don't know. But I made Joel a promise, and there we go. Consider us even.
We're not done yet.
Oh? You want to keep me longer, darling? Oh, please. I could do worse.
You still have your little fucking gift from Joel?
I do.
didn't trade it away. I know you demons are fucking maniacal for that.
No, as you remember, my siblings, how would I put it, are quite in that mindset. Me, I'm lowered down, but that has the advantage of no one knows what I'm up to. And it's such a pretty trinket he got me. It's mine.
All right.
It's safe, don't worry.
And for the sake of a common interest in this case, which nearly makes me fucking broke, you have any idea how we can get to the architect? Or what, just take a trip down to the hells?
I would recommend that, darling. You wouldn't last a second, as brave and bold as you might be. No. He keeps himself hidden away a lot of the times in his own private laboratory. Third circle of hell's where you'll find him. But he's not often in. He's out either making or collecting favors.
Okay. Alright, fine. Fair enough, you've been surprisingly helpful. So...
Joel and I sealed the deal with a kiss. Of course I'm gonna be honest.
Jesus.
Doesn't exist. Not in this realm anyway.
Hello!
This is Carpenter jumps out the window.
Fine. Formally, I'll accept it on behalf of Joel, but your contract is complete.
Thank you. I will keep the sword safe, of course. You do have my ever-longing word of that one.
If I
Because
find
I
it's
do
not fucking
think...
safe and you're alive, I'll come down to the fucking hells and smash you into sulfur myself.
Oh, you're always welcome to come to my little house down there. But no, the sword will stay safe, because I do think if a war between the hells and the heavens do open up, I could be in a favorable position for myself then. And maybe you guys too.
You'd be a fucking target.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'd keep it fucking safe, keep it hidden, and I'd make sure above all nobody fucking knows that you've got it.
The only people that do is me, you, and Joel, wherever he may be.
That unfortunately might spell bad news for you, but
Oh?
who am I to judge?
What bad news would that be, darling?
No, you're not getting anything on me. You've done your business, now fuck off.
Fair enough. I might still drop in now and again, see how you're doing.
Yeah, don't bother trying to make a deal with me. You know how that will fucking end up.
Fair. Your friends, though. I wonder how they'd react to seeing me around. Find out later. Have a good day, Wash.
Fuck off.
Ta-ta. And with that, like when the architect met you in the Underdark, there's an eruption of infernal fire as fire in a circle engulfs her. And as the fire is dimmed down to nothing, she is no longer in the room with you.
Is there something breakable near me? Like, inexpensive?
Yeah,
All
there's a very fancy mirror on the wall. There's vases of flowers that, the usual trinkets and
Like a mug?
oddities.
Like a shitty mug?
Yeah, there's a world's best dad mug on the.
I'm just gonna fucking yeet that at something. Just anything. I don't give a shit.
Yep, you grab this mug and fucking throw it against the mirror, both shattering with a loud crash.
I'll just open the door. There's been an accident. If somebody could come and, clean that up, that'd be fantastic. I'll close the door and just leave. He's in a really sour mood, so he'll go back to the meeting point and he will look exceptionally like his day has just been fucking ruined and it's only just started.
Yep. I would say not too long after that's happened, Elero, you will, probably like 5 minutes later, arrive at the agreed meeting point and see Wash fucking seething for some reason. Not even subtly hiding it. He is quietly just raging to himself in the corner.
Wash, are you okay? You look like a wasp got under your armor.
Let's just fucking move. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll fucking tell you about it later. It pertains to everything, but I'll fucking tell you about it later. I'm fucking pissed, so it's fine. But yeah, let's just move.
Okay. As long as you're okay.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just fucking furious, but I'm fine.
The two of you guys then push out and take the tram system down to the Shade District, and it doesn't take you long to see, asking around, excuse me, where Mary Stays is. And you'll see as you get down the street, it has been sectioned off by guards, not lines, just your standard guard at this point. The whole street at this point is closed just to make sure there's no other devices or nothing else that's rigged to blow in the nearby buildings. And basically, bit by bit, these buildings are getting cleared. But you can see the Mary Stays. It's a wooden building, and it looks like in the top corner, basically, on the right-hand side as you're looking at it, there's a massive hole in the wood that goes from the second story down into the first as well, exposing some of the nearby rooms. You can see as well that has been clearly a lot of fire damage as the wooden building went up in flames a little bit, but was quickly brought back under control. But yeah, as you approach, the guards will know who you are. They will not question if you want to walk through and begin investigating whatever else need be.
I really doubt we're going to find anything here, but looks devastating. Whatever trap this was.
With the look, at least, I suppose. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a bit of a lost cause.
Can I get you either get to on you go? Sorry, yep.
I was going to say specifically look for traps first.
So you can 100% make a check for traps roll, which I believe is an investigation check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I rolled quite low, but I've still got a good modifier. 19.
At 19, you do feel confident that whatever trap, you can see the evidence if you go into the room where the Mary Stays, the evidence where the trap was triggered. It was a simple case of a simple mechanism that when the door was opened, it would then trigger some sort of explosive arcane device. It's as simple as that, simple tripwire. But it has been completely, well, I can say diffused, it's been activated. And confidently in the Mary Stays, if you check out in the other buildings as well, you don't find any more traps.
I assume if there was any other traps, it's probably blown up with the first one.
Yeah, I think one did enough, really. He seemed to have done the job quite well.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it looks like really rigged it so it would destroy all evidence.
Yeah.
Matt, can I just start looking through the rubble of anything interesting?
Yep. You guys can make investigation checks if you so wish to see if you can ascertain anything.
Did I look for magical residue? Like,
Yeah,
if I can
100%.
see any-
Yeah.
Me looking for evidence, I got 30.
30. Well, okay, fuck me. Okay.
18 will die.
I got 12. Fuck me.
12.
Too bad.
You don't see, in your case, Wash, what you call magical residue, but you do see powder residue instead, which would indicate the bomb that went off here, for lack of a better term, wasn't fully arcane in nature. Maybe the triggers were, but this was black powder, effectively. This is raw explosives, man-made. At the end, they're not arcane in nature. With a 30, for fuck's sake. Sounded a bit Emmerichish there, didn't I? That bled through.
So glad I took expertise investigation. That was the best decision I've made all campaign.
You have a look around the Mary Stays, and as you assumed and as you predicted, there's next to nothing here. Anything that was inside this room is ash, cinder, and useless at this point. You can see nothing effectively inside the Mary Stays that brings any hints or anything, clues to life. And it's as you've basically given up and you go, right, there's nothing here, obviously. You then begin to leave the Mary Stays, and you just sort of look through the hole that this explosion is creating the exterior wall, and you can see that there's a building that's slightly lower down. The rooftop was slightly lower down than the Mary Stays is on this floor, and you can just see some debris on top of this building. And you just go, what's the point? Let's just check it out whilst we're here, sort of thing. You go down a street level, go to this adjacent building, which is just a standard apothecary, nothing's fancy whatsoever, and climb onto the roof of this single-story building. And yes, you can see there is wood debris, there is pieces of glass from the windows blown out. But you see where the fire that was in the room hasn't. Well, these items were in the room with the fire. These residues of items have been spared from the damage. You can see part of a journal that's here. Now, again, it is horrifically ruined from an explosion. You know, as you sort of open it, you can see most of the pages are still ash and tarred, sort of thing. But what you do see is on the back of it, the bit that sort of like you're guessing was facing away from the explosion when it happened, for whatever reason that may be, is a piece of a prayer book, and it's just one of the standard prayers to the Morning Lord, as you would do. Nothing unusual. Again, you not being a man of religion yourself, for the Morning Lord specifically, don't know the wordings of it, but you can understand the gist of it. It's praise into the morning, praise to the bee, the circle of life, and all that sort of pish. However, written over it in ink that isn't part of the actual original printing, we'll say, is some handwriting. And you have to piece together what it says, because again, a lot of it has got burn marks against it and ashen away, and you can't read the whole thing. But piecing together, you think this reference is basically something about a loss of a son. But more importantly, what you can tell is you try and piece together something about losing a son or the loss of a son, something along that. And I should say S-O-N, not S-U-N, in case you think of Morning Lord, son, just in case Morning Lord, something. Very clearly written is Lathander is cruel.
Wash. I found something.
Fucking hell. Guess we got lucky then.
It's not much, but there's some powerful emotions in this. Can maybe you, I don't know, see if Emmerich can use it as an anchor to locate her.
I don't know Memrick's magic, but maybe. I mean, we'll just have a very quick flick through.
Mm-hmm. Again, same thing. Yeah, and you probably be more clued up on religion and that sort of stuff than Ellie or Liz. Well, again, this is what is left of a standard prayer book. It's not a journal. That's the wrong way to use it. It should be more like a holy textbook. Sorry, it's my bad. And it would be, again, you know, deal with Lathander yourself, but this would be your case. Yeah, this is just a prayer book on, you know, that most follows Lathander would have in their home somewhere. Nothing unusual about it, but yeah, you can see the Lathander being called cruel is a very, very, very powerful statement. He is one of the most loving and giving gods there is. So someone to call Lathander cruel is a very heavy statement.
Well, that explains why Hex decided to fucking turncoat, I suppose. I can imagine Lathander probably didn't answer her prayers after her son died.
Thinking the same. Maybe she
That's
turned
a
someone
dangerous
out.
game to play. She'd be an oathbreaker if she wasn't a cleric. That's fucking dangerous.
I mean, when we knew Hex, the fans were still with her. Although Falcoris did mention that she spoke of a tenuous relationship.
Lathander's a fairly forgiving god, if I'm honest. As far as they go. He's one of the kinder ones. Could be that maybe that was entirely just a lie.
Or maybe, you know what, if Hex is a powerful cleric, if her son died, what if she couldn't bring him back? And she's blaming Lathander for that.
It's pathetic, but it's not unreasonable to say.
Some people will go to extreme lengths to ignore their own shortcomings. You know,
Mhm.
I've been there.
That may be true, but you're also not bound to the Morning Lord. Heavy to weigh on that, to just decide to turn against your god. I don't know how long she's been a cleric, but I've known clerics who would rather die than even upset their god. So I don't know. Something doesn't seem right just here. This is too. We're not getting everything, but it also seems weak.
Yeah, I agree. But at this point, it's all we have.
It's better than nothing, I suppose.
Maybe the others will have some thoughts on it.
Hopefully. I mean, it's also. I think maybe I could pass this around. As much as some gods don't like each other, the ones that do talk. So, who knows? Maybe somebody will know something. If we find out a bit
Yeah.
more of maybe why her kid died or how they died, I don't know, it just might make things easier.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know much about Lathander and his teachings, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know myself either. You come across him eventually, just doing anything really. He's a forgiving God. He's kind. He's everything that Bowden isn't, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. He's for redemption, for the change, for mourning. But he is forgiving.
Matt,
Mhm.
Am I right in thinking Lathander specifically does not like the undead, does not like things
It's
cheating
completely
death?
unnatural, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's why he will agree with the Raven Queen that she has a purpose.
Mhm.
They might not see eye to eye, but she closes the circle.
Yeah.
Things that are of the undead break that circle.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know too much about Lathander to make any informed conclusions here.
Yeah, I agree,
We'll
if I'm honest.
see what we can find out.
Good plan, I think. Can't do much more here anyway. It's burnt to fucking ash.
Yeah. Okay. Are you want to stop anywhere else or just head back to the castle?
I've got no stops. Have you? Seems you got plans for tonight.
Yeah, can I just briefly detour? And I'm picking up like 4 bottles of wine, nice wine,
Okay. Fancy one.
and the equivalent of like 2 cheese boards, but like for 4 people, you know what I mean?
Yep, you're picking up a charcuterie board.
And like candles and stuff
Yep, easily. And if you're going expensive,
for 4 people.
specific for 4 people, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I have
Interesting.
25 gold, and I'll do as best as I can with that.
And
Let's see.
protection. You like make.
Get a Johnny, mate. Go on. Like, get a Johnny. Come on.
By a Trojan.
Wrap yourself, yeah.
Don't be silly, wrap your willy. Good advice here in Immersive Realms. Let's say if you're going fancy cheese, you say fancy wine as well, do you say, sorry? Or
Yeah,
candles?
Good
Let's
wine,
say
candles.
for 4 people, let's say it'll cost you, I don't know, 5 gold total for some good shit. You know?
Perfect.
You're getting some good shit.
I pay
For 4
that.
people.
I was
Anyways.
just sitting there thinking, who the fuck's he feeding? How much cheese is that? Jesus.
You acquire all this, return to Wash, probably still seething, and then you guys begin to head
Little
back
bit,
up to
yeah.
the Rising Star Palace.
As
We'll come back-
we're
Hmm?
on the way, you can do this after if you want, but as this one, I do want to start up a conversation.
Cool. If you don't mind, then we'll just pop a little pin in that one there. Then we'll come back to that conversation in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
okay. So the rest of you guys, Lavender, Azraelion, and Falcoris. Following Elena's lead, she leads you back to the main throne room. And she opens the doors, closes them behind her, sort of thing. The lions try and get in the way to like open them for her, but she just does it herself and closes them herself, sort of thing. And she goes over to this table. You can see there's a pile of paperwork in front of her throne where she sits. And she goes, 2 seconds, I know it's here somewhere, Azraelion. Bear with me, sorry. And she begins to rustle through, sorry, and goes, no, not that one. So much boring admin. Here we go. And she walks up to you, and she hands you something.
Yeah.
Piece of parchment. I'm going to ping it over to you. This came across my desk just not yesterday, but the day before you guys left. Or after you guys left, sorry, my bad. Straight from the Guildmaster as I put a word out from that. So this came right from his hand to mine. It's not been published anywhere else, but this is an official contract. So I'm going to ping it to you privately first, Nikki, just since this is your eyes only right now. And then if you want to share it to the people, we can then pop it in the general handouts chat. But I've just pinged it to you. Have a little read. Whilst Azraelian reads over this, she then turns to Falcoris and Lavender. And how have you two been with, everything? It's not for me actually get to ask how you're doing. How are you?
Busy.
Busy? The joys of, bouncing around and looking after my brother?
Mostly looking after your brother.
We, just to, again, maybe talk a bit of shop, Falcoris. Bucky, your friend. He is here and he is under heavy lock and key. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. He's on the level of security on par with my father.
Makes sense. No qualms about that.
No, and he is, though, being well looked after. A very unique man, from what I'm told, with some unique needs, but he is oddly happy.
For once, he's not chasing something and he's been told to sit still. So,
Maybe that's a relief for him, maybe. Taking the weight off.
maybe. But, yeah, there's a lot behind Bucky.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell he's a troubled soul, but he does appear to be a nice man. I've met with him once since he came to the prison just to check in, and I can see why you would like him. There's something about him, not quite my cup of tea, but I can probably tell it once, way back when, there was a good man buried in there somewhere.
If fate had it another way, he would have been with his family, enjoying a good life of hunting. Unfortunately, fate decided something different.
Fate does do that to us all.
Yeah. I'm hoping that once this is all done, once we finish up the Shadowfell and close it off, that we can find some sort of life that's peaceful for him now.
It would be good for him. But until I get that word and assurance he's safe, even if he is a one-armed man now, he will remain in Pavma, in the prisons. Harsh as that may sound.
No, that's completely understandable, and also the exact thing that I kind of wanted for him, essentially, just to sit and do nothing for a bit.
Good. Well, he's got a lot of nothing on his time now, unfortunately, better or for worse.
Yeah, that's where he needs to be.
Yeah. So, jump back over, because Nick's had to jump away for a little second, so then jump back over to Wash and Elleril, as you guys now with Elleril carrying a shopping basket, or a shopping bag, or whatever stuff he's purchased, a little tote. You want to have a conversation, I'll let you guys take the reins.
Elrel's 100% a tote guy. Let's be real. He
He's a
makes it look. He makes it look good too. He makes it look good. Just as they're walking, I imagine they'd be walking silently for a little bit, and then Wash just goes. Your family's worshipped Bodin in the past, right? I know you're not really up to date on your sermons, but
Yeah. My ancestor was his champion.
are there any recorded interactions or ceremonies or I don't know that verified him as champion?
I mean,
yeah,
just in case, so you know, yeah, 100%. Just in case. There are various documentations, and again, nothing that Bowden himself put his signature on. Obviously, gods don't work that way, but he was the champion. There is no disputing that.
yeah. He. I mean, there's the blade. That Odin created based off Monarch's design for his champion.
Mm.
My sister holds it, and there's the trial. I don't know if it's not to public knowledge, but there's an escape route out of the city that to ascend the throne. Bodin essentially dictated that DeSoto will learn the route, learn the trials, just in case people need to be evacuated out of Pathmark. They can go through the castle. And I've walked that way. I've walked it twice actually.
Oh, I'm not saying and like saying that I'm not pissed off that you don't worship Bodin. Don't worry, he's allegedly dead for a very long time.
It's not that. It's my brother was devout, and it's reminiscent of painful memories. My
Sorry
father
that my
apparently
question brought
used
up.
to. This, by all means, no. My father is seemingly loyal, but he turned out to be somewhat of a charlatan. Don't know how loyal he has been. They used to say about my brother that he was a Engar come again, Engar reborn. That he'd descend to be Borden's next champion. With people that weren't all needed. Then Orknat killed him.
Mm. I think he would have been a good champion. But Bodin is a bit picky in some cases.
I feel like he's been there for me when I've needed him. But I would not be a good champion to him. I wouldn't want it. Although I know someone you should meet.
It's ominous.
He's a ominous person.
That doesn't inspire confidence in me, I'll be entirely honest.
You shouldn't.
Well, at least you're honest. Like
He's daunting. He almost killed me.
Is this your attempt to trying to convince me to meet this person? Because it's not really that good, I'll be honest. You need to work on it.
It's something that I don't feel comfortable talking about in the open. But they're very loyal to Bowden.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, if they're loyal to Bowden, that's got to be something, right?
Yeah. Definitely something.
I'd be honored if you'd introduce me to this person.
I do. I'll come find you at some point. I just need to get some permissions and borrow something from my sister. Let's see how well that goes.
This is becoming increasingly more fishy, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's very, very fishy, but I can't say more.
Fair enough.
When we get back to the castle, I'll just arrange. We don't need to RP this, but like just arrange for my sister if I can borrow the blade, and then with the intention of showing Wash, depending on the time we get back.
Yeah. So you'll probably get back like mid-afternoon-ish sort of thing. By the time obviously you have the conversations, go both to and from the city, shopping, looking at Merry Stays. You probably get about 2-3 o'clock. You guys return to the castle. Your sister will not happily give you the sword per se, but if you loosely explain what needs to happen, she'll be like very understanding of it and will give you the sword with the promise you will give it back to her.
I will also offer she can come with if she wants to do it.
She actually accepts your invitation.
Okay.
She would like to come down and meet this person. Yep. So she will then say, "I'll take the sword," sort of thing. But you guys return to the palace. You have these conversations. We're then going to jump back in time a little bit now, if that's okay. Back to the throne room with Lavender, Azraelian, and Falcoris. So Elena's just chatted with you guys, and Azraelian, you've read this contract, and she then turns to you. Would this be something you're interested in?
This is something I would like to do on a personal level. I don't require any coin for this.
Oh, well, again, nothing's been confirmed yet. The Guildmasters haven't, let's say, published it, so no coin has been agreed apart from what is noted on the letter, if anything.
Yes, what it is in the letter, I don't wish for any sort of reward. This is on a personal level to me.
Okay. I won't press. Whatever your business is your business, my friend. But there's a call for aid, and if you would like to answer it, by all means, of course. Who might stop you?
Thank you. I will take a leave. I'd like to discuss this with my companions.
Of course. I need to do some paperwork here anyway, so if you need me, find me here being bored. Bring wine.
My queen.
Defender. And she'll then gesture to you guys if you want to leave. She's not the dismissive hand wave sort of thing, like the free to leave sort of thing gesture, and you guys can, exit the throne room. Yep.
Are we all together now, or are we meeting up?
I'd say in about an hour or two later, then, probably a couple of hours later, all of you guys will be reunited again. Yeah, for the sake of brevity, you can all be probably again after the conversation with Elena that Elil has, about 3 p.m., 3:30. You guys are all reconvened over a dinner table with some house red that the castle offers. And yeah, the day is yours.
I know what we have to do next. We must travel back to the Balo.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did you not say that's where you're from?
That is why this is on a personal level. I must go back to Balo.
All right. Everything all right?
I'll read out the letter. So, do you want me to read it out? Do you want me to post it anywhere?
You can read it out, and if you want to read it out, and I'll also post it in the handouts chat, 100%. But by all means, yeah.
So, this is a call for help. Belo has recently been attacked by a creature that has never attacked us before. Within the town, limits the least, the beast is fast, canine in nature with a horrific killer. In this attack, we lost 6 people, including someone who has not seen their 10th winter. We may have no means to fight back. We have no means to fight back. I do fear that we have angered the spirits of the Green Grove. Please come to our aid. Do not visit the mayor when you arrive. He knows not of this cry for help, as he believes this will pass and we need not to cause a fuss. Instead, please find me. My name is Artur Hale. I'm the owner of the woodwork shop in Balo. I cannot offer much, but I do have some gold to offer, and also a family heirloom. Though it may be valuable, I am willing to use it as payment. This is the beast that slaughtered my village. I must go back.
Of course, we'll shoot a quick, like, little glance towards Ellerl and Lavender and be like, you don't think it's...
The Wendigo?
I mean...
It could be. There's all sorts of beasts in that green gorge.
True. Alright,
There's
well...
something in... I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but there was something that I saw in there when I first went looking for Madame Mar.
What did you see?
It was ferocious. It was wolf-like. Matt, I can't remember this creature. That
So
you-
it was canine in nature. It looks elongated for a dog, sort of thing. If you have that dog structure, look like elongated. It moved pretty quickly. Hairless, fast, massive claws, and like almost like it was a canine-like body. The mouth was more like almost crocodile-esque in the sense of the jaw came out like a dog's would, but a little bit longer, like a crocodile, if that sort of like halfway sort of point, if that makes sense. Yeah. Terrifying to look at.
Describe it. It kind of stopped me as I made my way through the green gorge, and I basically had to sneak my way through. Does that sound anything like the creature?
No, I was a small boy, but I will tell you a story of how this obsession became. The people of Balo, we are superstitious, like your average sailor. The type that would do every little ritual as if their lives depend on it. Life there is simple, but rewarding in its tranquility. When I was a young boy, too young at the time, a druid came to the town one day and spoke to the elders. They mentioned deep in this dangerous green gorge forest of a powerful and potential, if real, sacred tree. It was said that even the woods were monsters roaming wild and free, so they would keep a white bear from the tree, as it is believed to be a gift from the Wild Mother. It is said in the story that she made the Green Gorge, but before she could protect it, evil took roots and stole it from her. So, in the center upon the hill, she planted a tall and mighty oak to, amongst the conifers, to stand tall and strong against this evil. My people heard of this tree, and since it was built, Balo has always had a monster problem. It is part of the reason the village is built on stilts, and we use trees as canopies. The boggy ground is another less important reason, but you understand. But hearing of this tree gave the elders hope. Perhaps they need not to worry anymore. If this tree could be found, it would be all well. Scouts were sent, and months later they returned claiming it has been found. So an expedition and a settler group were founded, which I and my mother were a part of. A few days' travel passed, and I woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of screams. Not the kind that comes from your nightmares, but something real, something more desperate. Alone in a tent, I'd done what any young curious boy would do. I peered outside of my tent, and when I saw it, I froze. A canine-like beast that moved incredibly quick, killing everyone without mercy. Which coincides with your story. That is what you think you have seen. That is when the smell hit me. Blood heavy, thick like rust that's been left in the rain too long. The air carried this acrid scent of firewood, mingling with something much more fouler. The stench of torn guts, of something primal and wrong. Then I realized my mother was not inside the tent. I made my way outside, trying to stay quiet and hidden in the night, weaving my way through torn and mangled bodies, lying twisted in unnatural positions, and that is when I found her. I still hear the sound at night when I lie in my bed alone. That is the worst part. The wet, deliberate flesh tearing, her bones snapping as this hulking canine-like figure with teeth and razor-sharp claws tearing her to bits. But I am Israeli young Ravenor. I have to protect my mother. And that is when it gave me this scar. And I'll refer to the scar that's clawed from my cheek on one side all the way down to my throat. I don't know why I was spared, but there must be a reason. Perhaps the Wild Mother was watching over me that night. I am unsure. I was barely able to make it back to Balo alive, by following the marrows in the ground from our journey to the woods. The elders never tried this migration again, because they believed that the evil spirits knew of the people's plan to find safety, so they sent a demon to slaughter. As I've grown older, I have honed my skills to be as fast and as ferocious as this beast. The superstitious nature of my people does still reside within me, but I know for certain that this beast is alive, it is real, it is what is terrorizing my village once again, and it will die at my hands.
I guess we set off in the morning.
Yes, I would like to set off in the morning.
All right. Well, the two of you have had experience with very, very similar creatures, possibly and most likely the same one. You two have a lead on it. I believe Azraela and you're good at tracking. We have also got Lavender here, who's lived in woods for quite a bit of her life, that could help out tracking it down. We've got a little bit of a way with detecting good and evil as well, and I'll look towards Wash.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to find this thing and put it down for good.
I would very much like that.
Right. We'll reconvene here in the morning. First light. Then we're out of here. We'll find this fucking creature, we'll bring it down. For your people, Israelion. And for the avengement of your mother and your family and friends.
Thank you.
Back to the Green Gorge.
Yeah. Let's hope she doesn't fucking meddle with things.
So sick of the Green Gorge at this point.
Who
Have we
is
considered just burning
she?
it down?
I mean,
Did you say she? Who do you mean she?
Madam Meyer.
Would that name be familiar to me at all?
That
Madam
name is
Maya?
exceptionally familiar to you. When you grew up in Baylor, that was like Voldemort. She who should not be named, sort of thing. Like, literally in Baylor, they do not say Madam Meyer. They just refer to her as the Bug Witch, her. Anything but her actual name. Again, believing if you say her name, she will come and find you. So yeah, what you would know as you've grown up, same sort of thing. You know, as you sort of left the enclosement of Balo, you realize or learned Madame Meyer is not so much of a myth and a boogeyman that people of Balo might think she is. She is a real hag and an exceptionally powerful one. But she's one that everyone knows, for the most part, she's pretty untouchable. Many have tried to kill her, and that many have failed to kill her. She's best left to her own devices.
Oh, meeting tomorrow. Do whatever you have to do to prepare. Get ready. I'll bid you good night.
Gosh, if you'll come with me.
Okay.
I've got just someone in the crypt watching me. It won't be long. Quite fetch my sister.
Did you say crypt?
And we cut scene
Well,
as you collect Helena, and she brings the sword, of course, and you guys head down to the three of you only. I'm guessing just the three of you, yeah. You guys head down towards the entrance to the family crypt again. You open the door, and you make your way past the various tombs and sarcophagi of your ancestors, grandparents, great grandparents, great great great, so on and so forth, until you get to the one that you're looking for. That depicts your great 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 uncle, or grandfather, sorry, the former champion of Bowden.
Yeah, I'll just wait for Elena to open the passage.
Elena uses the sword, and the passage, with a heavy grinding of stone, reveals the secret staircase underneath.
There's a few trials in here, Wash, but don't worry, we know the answers. Just trust us when we tell you what to do.
And indeed, you guys go and face the trials. We'll skip over them. Well, not skip over them, but Wash, you then go for the trials. And the first room, the walls and the ceiling start closing in. Your instincts try and figure out how to stop this, but Elena and... Well, actually, Elena hasn't been fucking what she's doing either.
We went through it together after, remember?
So you did. I do apologize. Yes, you did. Elena does know what she's doing. They don't panic, and the walls, with faith, do not crush you, and they instead retreat and go up to the ceiling. And you go through the trials and the corridors and the various passageways, getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this crypt, the air getting hotter and hotter, more humid and sticky, until you finally get to the chamber where the ground is covered in water, and there is another sarcophagus in the center, along with these four pillars or statues, of depicting various people. And as you three step into this room, you see 5 spectral figures emerge, one from each of the statues in the corner, and one from the central tomb that stands up and look at you all. They all initially have all their various weapons out, but seeing familiar faces, they don't draw them. Ah. You've returned again, young blood.
My friend here, he's loyal to Bowden. He doesn't know many people who are also loyal to Bowden still. I thought you'd appreciate an audience if you were willing to grant one.
An ally of Bowden, and a true one at that I can sense, is an ally of mine and worthy of my time.
I'll bow and then go back to the doorway and just wait there so Wash can...
Elena does exactly the same. And the ghostly apparition walks directly towards you, Wash, and stops at a comfortable distance away. Hello.
Evening.
Is it? I don't know down here.
It's really close. I'm not entirely sure why I was brought down here, other than you apparitions seem to be devout followers of Bowden from long past.
More than devout. Former champion, so I was. Spoke to Bowden directly, and these four were my loyal servants and friends, above all else. Truly devout, as are you.
So I don't need to explain the current thoughts going through my head.
Game recognizes game. No. I see. I know your position. I know to whom Bowden has smiled upon and deemed worthy. It is an honor to meet the current champion. And with that, Elleril and Elena, you two see something that you never expect to see, that your ancestor, former champion of Bowden, takes a knee in front of Wash. And the other four apparitions do the exact same. He stays on his knee for a minute, and then he stands up, the water not having ripples from where he dips his knee into it, so to speak. How may I help you?
Bowden isn't exactly one to guide me. I imagine he's not changed much since your time.
My time, Bowden was going through a lot of the troubles. He spoke, but there was few and far between, and I know that since he's become more of a recluse, if not entirely separated. You have an additional trouble I never did, and for that my sympathy. But I do know that look in your eye, and I can see in the touch of your soul his words have reached your ear directly. Yes?
Yes, I completed my original oath, and then he spoke to me. Only the second time, I can assume.
And all is not lost. Bowden still reigns.
He does. He waits. I suppose a god of war does have to be patient occasionally.
Of course. Taught you well.
But I think the time for patience is over. I don't know what happened during the Betrayer War. I don't know the decisions that were made, and I don't know the consequences that befell those, but I think the same forces are moving. I think it's about time that the world felt a bit more than just hopeless. I just don't know how to claim that.
And finally, my true purpose has been revealed to me. He looks over his shoulder towards his bloodline, towards Elena and Delaril, and he looks back at you. I have been bitterly waiting upon this earth for an enlightenment to why I'm still here. For millennia, I believed it was just because I was here to simply be a tool, to guard the DeSoto bloodline down, but now I see there was not the DeSotos I was waiting for. It was you. And now that I have spoken and you have asked me for help, I know what needs to be done.
Enlighten me.
I shall leave this plane forever. Complete my mission here. And speak to Bowden. Not as god and as subservient or God and champion, but man to man. And I will not ask, I will demand that he stand up once more and help. Because his champion needs him, and the world needs him.
I don't think there's no finer purpose than what you just come up with.
It's an honor.
Somebody does have to drag that old man out of his chair every once in a while.
Well, me and my friends here are more than that capable of that. We've taken down many a beast when we were alive and killed a few betrayer gods along the way. I dare say I can make a god stand before me. One final time.
Yeah, you are definitely the champion.
And I can tell you definitely are as well. Deserving of the current times.
And
We're
it is
lucky
an
to have
honor
you.
to meet you.
Trust me, young man. The honor rests heavy on my shoulders. And I am privileged that my final act is to help you.
Thank you.
If you wouldn't mind, I would need to speak to my kin for a moment.
Go
Tell
for it.
them.
If you'd like to explain for me, that would do me a favor as well.
Children, come.
Mosey on over.
You two sort of shuffle on over. The trials of the DeSotos are over. There shall be no more tribulations coming down to these corridors anymore. In fact, the DeSotos don't even have to be the future rulers anymore. The purpose was misguided. The situation flawed. A real light has been shone upon me. And your friend here, gesturing towards Wash, is the real reason I've been waiting along in this dark tomb for the millennia that I have. Do not let the bloodline completely crumble. I'm not saying abandon everything. I'm more saying make your own paths. Choose your own destinies, as I'm going to choose mine now and leave you.
It's an honor to get the opportunity to meet you.
Thank you. All of you. The three of you. You've done me an honor by coming to see me, bringing this man before me, and keeping the blood strong. The DeSotos have done well. He reaches out an ethereal hand to place on one of your shoulder and one on Elena's shoulder, LOL. I am proud of all of you. And I'm sure the DeSotos will do well. Forever and always.
I'll repeat forever and always back at him in Elvish.
Elena will say it back as well. Soldiers! He stands up, turning, and you see the other four spectres sort of stand up, not at attention per se, but raise their heads and stand up straight. We have one final job. Let's go meet Bowden. And if we need to go deal with him, he'll need to listen to all five of us in force. Let's show him why he picked us all those years ago. Give him a reminder. And with that, the four of them, the four spectres, all drop to both their knees and sort of put their hands out on that sort of praying gesture. And your great-great-great-grandfather does the same before he looks up at Wash one more time. And he gives you a little nod. And with that, the spectres just begin to dissipate. Their sort of dark blue visage becomes a light blue to transparent to gone. And the energy in this place, the aura of this room, something shifts that you can't quite put your finger on. the temperature's the same, the humidity's still awfully horrible down here. But something shifted.
I hope you can forgive the secrecy now.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I can forgive just that little bit of secrecy, as long as you forgive mine.
I have you're not comfortable telling everyone what we had here today. It won't leave my lips.
It's not comfort.
Sometimes
There
you
are
can be
far more paladins to sit and claim that they are some devout or some even stronger than the rest. I wasn't gonna make that claim without needed proof.
by all means, champion. Just normally we would head out through that tunnel there. She'll take you to that the shack with the steward.
Ah, now that makes
Yes, I think.
sense.
But it probably makes more sense to go back to the castle.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
I go back the way I came.
You guys can backtrack safely back to the castle. During this journey, is there anything else that anybody else would like to be doing at this point between Falcoris, Israelian, and Lavender?
I'll probably just be in my room, preparing, knowing this one was going to come, probably sharpening my blades,
Yep.
heightening my senses, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and as you're sort of sitting there, you haven't realized how tense you are. And you're sitting there sharpening your blade and sharpening your blade, and it's getting to the point now sparks are actually flying off of it with how hot the stone and the sword have become. As you hear them, you smell the iron from the sword, but it's not iron of the sword you smell, it's the blood of the fallen. You can feel that fear. The hair on your arms is standing up, and you can hear the screams. Gods, the screams. And you're closing your eyes, you're sharpening your sword, and you're sharpening your sword. And that's when the hand slips off as you jerk the stone a little bit too hard, and you've cut your hand a little bit. And as you sort of, look down at yourself in anger, you can see that sitting in front of you with a very concerned look on her face, as much as an animal can. You see Adar looking back at you. And as you make that eye contact, she comes up and she rubs herself, trying to comfort you against your leg, her head. She's purring away. She can tell that you're upset.
This is the time that you be a big girl. This is what all your training has came to. This is why we hunt. This is why we have trained. But if a daddy shall fall in battle, Lavender will look after you.
She looks towards the door and then looks back towards you, and then she, without invitation, sort of on your annoying way with the sword, jumps on top of your lap sort of thing. You have to sort of carefully put the sword away to make sure she doesn't cut her little toe beans. And then she basically puts her face into your neck, and you can just feel, as sort of catches that loud purring, the vibrations through your chest as she just buries herself into you a little bit.
I will take a wrap and just wrap my hand up first, and I'll let her curry in, and I'll just cuddle and just stroke behind her ear.
And it's at that moment, as you strip behind your ear and have this comfort with you, you feel your jaw is sore from grinding your teeth, your arms of aching from grinding the sword, and you just take that second to let go a little bit, relax, bring yourself to the present again in this room with Adar.
I love you too, girl. Everything will be good. Everything will be fine.
Cute. We'll skip forward a little bit then. Unless, of course, the Lavender, sorry, that's very rude of me. Is there anything else you two would like to do? No problem. We'll jump forward in time. And the clock strikes 8 as the church bells ring out across the city of Pavmar. Oh shit, cycle.
Right.
But yeah.
So I'm okay not RPing this. I feel like I've dominated a lot of the time tonight, but I've got two things to do. One,
Okay.
the roof spot. I make it look very romantic. Candles lit, wine, charcuterie board.
Yep.
Sorted. Second
Check.
second mission. The garden. Same
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
Same deal on the garden. I'd like to forge using my forgery kit, which I'm proficient in. 2 letters.
Okay.
One that
You want to?
says it's horrifically spelled, right?
Okay. Deliberately.
Yeah, like some letters are backwards, things like that, and it says "Meet me in the garden, W."
Okay.
And the other one, it's got very florally writing. It looks immaculate. It says "Meet me in the garden, L." And Eller's going to sneak up to both Wash and Lavender's door, slip it under, knock, and run away.
You just parent trapped them? What the
That's what you've used now.
fuck? Just parent trapped them?
Oh, you bad man.
And then which was the shitly spell one as well, which is the best bit.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's with the W's backwards, you do.
The thing is, Lavender grew up in a forest. I don't know if she'd be much better. That's
This
the
is
thing.
just-
Yeah, why am I
LRL
catching a
respect
stray?
with
What the
people.
fuck?
Well, Wash and Lavender, at some point through the evenings, there's a rasp on your door before you hit to bed. But it's only 8 p.m. The clock's just told you so. Or the bell's sorry. And suddenly, Wash, under your door, a parchment comes through and it says, "Meet me in the gardens." Beautiful calligraphy. It's quite well written. Lavender, before you go to bed as well, under your door, there's a rasp, and you can see in quite shoddy writing. It's a bit poor, not gonna lie. Meet me in the gardens.
Ooh, I was just gonna be like, not this fucking devil again, for fuck's sake.
Do you two go to the gardens respectively?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Lavender.
I mean, I guess it's also near Brody's, pee-pee time, so.
Right, go kill a couple of roses, yep.
Brownie and Lucia's about to bond over something, I guess.
Yeah, you guys individually make your way through the palace corridors before you get to the garden Wash, and then a few minutes later, Lavender appears. Elil, where are you, just out of sheer curiosity, as they meet in the garden? You...
I'm going back up to the roof to have my date with Gwen.
Fantastic, no problem at all. You have a
I don't need
lovely
to
date.
RP that. I
Yeah,
just
you have a lovely date with Gwen, as you now just parent traps Lavender and Wash into a lovely blanket. There's some candles scattered around almost the whole garden, and some fine wine and cheeses upon a tartan blanket in the center.
I totally did not clock that from the 4 cheese board shit. I just had no
I was
fucking clue.
Again, when he said the four, I was like, "Who's
I
the
just
other
thought he
two
was
for?"
really into the cheese.
Watching this, Jesus.
I thought he was really into the cheese.
I've been scheming for like 3 weeks.
Why?
I just thought it'd be funny.
Fair enough.
Well, do you guys enjoy some wine and cheese together under a starlit night?
Spider-Man meme of what the fuck? What the fuck?
If you would like to enjoy a nice little evening of just each other's company, romantic or otherwise, of course, you may have some wine and cheese.
I just want to point out my writing is not that fucking terrible.
As Lavender produces the letter.
That's fucking awful, and I'm genuinely a little bit pissed off that he's written that. It's offset by the fact that they've given us cheese and I know who the fuck it is, but
He saw you buy the cheese earlier.
it's like, I know who this is.
Lavender just so fucking confused.
All right,
No
so
social cues are picked up at all. She's just like, why the
Eloril
fuck are we outside
I
with cheese?
decided to parent trap us. No, I'm kidding. Like, do you want some cheese?
Why?
I don't know. We're both here now.
Sure. Lavender has no fucking clue.
You guys sit down on the blanket, pull out the fine baby bells. Wash doesn't understand eats the wax.
The finest cheese string in all the land.
Pass the Durley Dunker Dip. And the two of you can enjoy just a night of each other's company, just to banter away the little hours. Brownie will just curl up in the corner of one of the roses, but good gardens, and just take a nap. Silvery, we don't fucking talk about that. And yeah, you, Eloril, can have a lovely romantic evening on the rooftops, probably, of the Rising Shire Palace. And again, same situation. Your fine cheese is spread across a blanket. Gwen is very appreciative of it, and will pay in favors later. Let's say. She puts out. The morning will then come. Not the only thing, but there we go. The morning arises. Sorry, I lined myself up accident on that one there. The morning arrives. Excuse me. In the city of Pavmar, and you guys all, as Falcorus mentioned, reconvene in the morning at that little spot where you guys had that conversation with, about Balo and the contract.
How was your evening, Wash, Lavender? Did anything exciting?
Wash be given daggers to.
It was a really nice night out underneath the stars.
I couldn't imagine. I didn't see it.
Did you not?
No.
Can I insight check him?
Insight check. Yeah, you can make a deception check, please, Wash.
Did I not roll the night?
I rolled a nut.
There's perception checks made earlier, so it's not the first roll of the night. Fuck, we are playing D&D, I promise. Yeah, there is some dice in this game at some point. What'd you get, sorry, a little?
I rolled a nat 1 for
Beautiful.
a 7.
Oh, perfect. I rolled a 17.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You just see Elrond deflate because he thinks that. Oh,
Wash stayed in his room all night. Didn't get the hint.
You know, I'll just because I see him deflate, and I'm like, okay, now I feel a bit bad. I'll kind of saddle up to him and just very quietly, so no one else hears, just look, I appreciate it.
it's good wine.
I don't know how you fucking guessed that, but just keep it on the down fucking low, yeah? Just like chill out about it, alright?
Okay. Secret.
Thank you. Fucking don't trust you, but alright. And then just just stayed. You know, stayed in most of the night. Didn't even have the blinds open, you know. Early night.
Oh, that's a shame. It was a beautiful night outside.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know.
What about everyone else? Are we all ready to set off for Bela?
Of course, with the full-on fucking tent backpack, his own backpack, a sword at the side, which he got a sheath for.
You know, you can ask for help.
And of course, we'll be like looking at all of you like, well, apart from Israelion, we'll be looking at you three like, you seem a little bit looser, but let's fucking go. We're ready.
Of course, looks like he's about to go on DFE.
He's doing a Duke of Overwood, yeah. DFP, Duke of Padmar.
So, the road to Bela, that'll probably take us about a week, won't it? Are we wanting to get horses or?
Yeah, let's get horses. Quicker we can get there, better.
Can't Emmerich not transfer us there?
Actually, that's a point. Fuck.
That's probably a lot quicker than horses.
I don't know if he'll be allowed out, but we'll go ask.
It's just if these people have been slaughtered already, we don't want to run the risk of more of them.
Yeah, we want to catch early. So,
you guys can go
who's
find Emmerich
going
then.
to wake him up? Actually, not me.
I'll do it. I don't care. And I'll go up and I'll...
You go to Emmerich's room, and there's no answer at the door. And as you're sort of waiting for a little minute, you can see one of the housemaids. Oh, Master Barrow's left already. He said he got a lot of work to do, so he's in his office.
All right, to his office.
You walk over to his office, wrap your hand on the door. Enter, please. Come in.
I'll walk in and...
You can see a very stressed out Emmerich. He is catching up on a whole lot of admin, and he's... Valcoris, honey, come in, please. How are you doing? Please enter, close the door behind you, don't let anybody see him. Look at the state I do. How can I help you, sir?
Fancy a break? Quick one.
No. Oh, gods, please, you have anything planned?
Yes.
You're on an adventure. Oh, heavens above, thank you, Falcoris.
We need a ride.
Excuse me?
We need a ride.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you.
Emmerich, come on, pal.
Not my type, it's fine, darling. Where are we off to?
You could try and reject me first. I already said I'm not interested in you anyway. Emmerich, we need to go to Baylor.
I'll get my boots. With that, he then comes back after like a minute, and you know, like the riding boots that when we're for horseback riding, he's like a men's pair of them basically. He comes back with Baylor.
Well, you wanted to go to adventure.
Yes, but somewhere nice.
Adventure never takes you somewhere nice.
Oh, there's insects that bite you there, monsters in the woods, and very odd people.
Okay, Emmerich, I hate to do this. I love your chattel, but we're gonna have to move fast. So let's go. You can moan on the way.
2 seconds. I need to do one thing first. I need to find Elena and give her this. And he gestures to the necklace or the amulet that Elor gave
I'll
him.
go with him, and then when we do meet Elena, I'll just be like, we're going to Baylo. He's taking us.
And as part of our agreement, my dear, here's this back so you know I am coming back. Thank you. Go help them. My queen. He comes back to you guys, meets you on the table. Right. You want to go to the cesspool then, yes?
Huddle
up, come close. And with that, there is a... And you find yourselves standing in a wet groundland of Balo, or just outside of it, let's say. Again, for those who've been a while since we've seen Balo, it is on the outskirts of the Green Gorge Forest, where these tall, dark, kind of conifer trees stand in the background. You can see before you a nice boggy landscape that is set before, and designated gangways and planks that cross it in a random crisscross path with no straight lines at any point. You can see that sunk into the mud are these sticks that will act as street lanterns in the evening, with these candles that burn on top, or all-lit lanterns in some cases. But it's when you look up into the treetops, you can see the very much Star Wars Ewok village of these houses that live on the treetops and the canopies, the gangplanks and rope bridges that connect them all, and these walkways. Again, there is a lower section of Balo that is in the bog, still on stilts, but most of the houses are in the treetop canopy. Emmerich immediately puts his hand in his pockets and sort of, are we done? Can I go back? I would love to stay, but I really wouldn't, actually. That's a complete fucking lie. I'd much rather be in the office at this point.
I'll pat him on his shoulder and just be like, this is bad for your complexion. On you go.
It's awful for everyone here. We should all just not go.
Yes.
But I'll let you do whatever you need. Don't call me when you need rescued again. Ta-ta! And he vanishes out quick.
Well, it is not much, but it's home.
Alright, we've got a name to go after. Follow your leaders, really.
Right. Who am I?
Azrael, you would loosely know the surname more than anything. Can I get you to make an intelligence check for me, please? Or a history if you're proficient. Same should be the same roll either way, but yeah, unless you're proficient.
Straight up intelligence.
Straight up intelligence, or if you have it, history if you're proficient in that one.
Both a 0 on the modifier, so that's fine.
Beautiful.
And that's a nat 1. I've not been here in a
Oh,
long
wow.
time.
Well, it has been a hot minute since you've been here, and the surname is loosely ringing a bell in your head, but again, you were a boy. Drawing a bit of a blank of where to easily find this man in an instant, you know?
Yeah, so he does say he owns a woodwork shop.
Right, hang on. Excuse me, and I'll head off to somebody and be like,
What's up?
pleasure to meet you. I'm looking for the woodwork shop. Hang on, one of these cats is in the way. 2 seconds. Come here. Come here, Renz.
And
Right.
you throw a dart into the bug with a satisfying boop. Which one you working for? There's a couple in, mate.
I believe the name was L, something like that. Otto.
Oh, yeah. Lower ring, right on the back left sort of thing. Can't really miss it. Biggest shed.
Perfect, thank you very much.
You're welcome. 2 silver, please.
Fine. And I'll flick him 5.
Oh, you. Thank you. With that, he runs away before you can change your mind.
Wait a minute, actually. Oh, fuck. Nah, I'm
We'll
joking.
see a castle just blast for you.
And then I'll obviously go up to the bar and just be like,
Yeah.
down there.
You go down there, I'm
Yes.
guessing.
As user,
was
so as user on your way, can I just stare into the forest, try and get a feel for anything that maybe like beckoning me in, any sort of like, you know, where you hear it in the wind, like Lord of the Rings, where they're going into the bit of the dead.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Make a
that.
wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Saving throw.
Oh, fucking
That's
cats.
a 7.
7. There's nothing. There's nothing there, let's say. You don't see the signs of the creature. You don't see it there. But you see, even though it's not there anymore, the cart tracks and the footprints that once you made yourself into the wood. And you swear in the forest you can hear the screams bouncing off the bark. And Azraelion, you guys will sort of like, if Falcoris comes back, Azraelion, I'll say you're doing this, staring to the wood, whilst Falcoris is asking this individual, this lovely individual, about directions. And you guys can all watch as Falcoris turns around. Azraelion is walking off the gangplanks towards the wood.
Australian.
You snap out of it.
Sorry, I must remain focused. I am going ahead of myself. Let us go. Falcoris, did you find the Atur Hill?
Yeah, but this fucking cat. 2 seconds.
Adar, leave him alone.
Falcoris will say at this point, will point you in the direction that he
Yes.
was indicated. And when he starts telling it, Azraelian, your mind is elsewhere, but with natural one especially it is, but you are then reminded of, oh yeah, of course it's the back. I recognize the name Hale. You don't know. Well, when you were growing up, this boy was the same age as you when he was a boy. And the name now recognizes that he is also now grown up and has probably taken over his family business. And indeed, you go find this individual. You come across, again, it is a large shed on the bottom tier, still on stilts, elevated above the bog, about 8 feet up or so, maybe 10 feet at a push. You can just see it just says the woodworks outside, and you can see it again, there's all these little woodwork tables and these fine tools that line the outside wall, and some demonstrations of their products, be it tables and various other bits of furniture. As you slide the large double door open, you can see that there's alive in here with of all this sawing, hacking. I don't know what the tool is, but makes the shavings as a smoothing the wood and that sort of stuff. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean, hopefully. Sanding and all that sort of stuff. And Azraelian, you will actually then recognize the man you're looking for as your memory's been jogged who it is. You can see standing behind all this, currently working on something made of wood. Obviously, you can see Archer Hale. He is a halfling man. Halfling man standing around 3'7". Although he is short in stature, he very much makes up for it in his build. He's built like a traditional lumberjack, very broad-shouldered, strong stance, doesn't stoop at all. He's currently wearing a shirt with a very low-down V collar. No sleeves in it. He's got leather braces on, and he's currently in the middle of sanding down this piece of wood flat. Big beard for a halfling as well, I would say. He's very. You can tell he must have some dwarf in him somewhere to have a beard like this. But and again, he's working away. As you guys enter his workspace, he looks up, and the other staff members do as well. But they go back to the work as Archer looks at you all. Can I help yous?
Arthur, is that you?
Got the fuck up. Is that you, Israelian?
How did you know?
Fuck's sake. Come here, friend. Oh, fuck me. How long's it been? He comes around and he gives you that sort of like, wrist grab sort of thing and pulls you down for a bit more of an embrace and a hug.
My, how you've grown.
Don't fucking... Fair enough. My, how you have grown, though. Jesus, it's been a hot minute. Fucking look at you, boy. Wait, how have you been? Wait. Sorry, questions. How are you?
I am fine. I am here on personal business.
Well, welcome back home. How can I help you?
I am here about the monster in the woods.
And immediately his sort of face drops a little bit. Right. He turns to the other workers. Early lunch, guys, on me. Please, go enjoy yourselves and be back, when the bells strike 2, I guess. We don't have bells here, so shut the fuck up and figure it out then. Fine. Go. Early lunch, go. This is a private conversation. And they all down tools and take their leave. The last one closing the double doors behind them. You picked up the contract then?
Of course. It is what I do.
And are these your friends who are... You guys here at Adventurers Guild or something?
This is the Twilight Company. They will be assisting in this mission.
Pleasure.
No, pleasure's all mine. If you've come to help us in our time of need, it's awful here.
You mentioned something about payment and the heirloom.
Yes, I've spoke to again. We've kept the secret from the mayor, as the letter said. He's of the opinion it's nothing. It's just a random attack, but he fucked up, if you ask me. That's by the by. I've got 650 gold scraped together for myself, my savings, and some other people I've spoken with. And as I say, there's a family heirloom I'd happily give you.
This job requires no payment. This is a personal level.
Are you sure, Israelian?
Of course. Look what it did to my face. You know what it did to my mother.
I know, and still, the people of Bale will be in your debt.
The people of Balo need a hero. And what more than a resident of Balo to be that hero?
I guess that was something. But I know this is personal for you, but if your friends here would like the payment, I'm not going to turn them down either. So, I know you're declining, Israelian, but you, the Twilight Company, if you want, I know it's not much for a contract of this magnitude. 650 gold is pissing into the wind, to be honest, quite frankly, but I will happily give you it, and plus this heirloom.
I mean,
You're doing us a great favor if this is completed.
in all due respect, it's Israelian's contract. So
Well,
let's call whether we take that or not.
he'll keep saying no, so what I'll say is it's on the table still. Change your mind, it's there.
It may disappear from the table, but as it stands.
Right, well.
He's
I
joking.
guess you'll...
No. No, boy.
well, let me fill you in a little bit what's been happening here. Do you remember the tree, Israelian?
Yes.
When we were
I
kids?
I was part of the expedition to go and make a settlement next to the tree.
Yeah, just making sure the trauma hadn't knocked out of you. We agreed, well, not us obviously, but Balo agreed, never again. Not going to entertain the idea. Mayor fucked up. And he did. I know he means well. I know he wants us to be safe and ending the fucking life we live here with monsters and everything else and find a better lives for ourselves. He sent out another expeditionary force. 10 men this time. 10 soldiers. They never returned. That was 3 months ago. We figured perhaps the wood got them, and if we're not mistaken, when we were boys, the first scouts took a wee while to come back, so we haven't assumed anything with them being absent this long, but about a week ago now, maybe a week tops, 5 days probably. It was during the night. Standard night here in the lovely town of Balo. I don't know if you guys, Gesture to Rescue Company, have spent the night here, but you hear them in the wood. Monsters. You can hear the howls and the cackles and the screams. We just hear it as part of nature, but I know it's not. One night, we heard nothing. Not a peep from the wood. Not even the crickets were singing. And as we were... Oh, the silence was deafening, and what brought our attention, we also came out and we all were looking at the gorge, the Green Gorge, and was wondering what the fuck was happening. And that's when it came out. Huge beast. Big. Dog-like. Fast. It created shadows and it slaughtered. We lost 3 guard, 2 non-guard people, friends, neighbors, including one of the kids. We didn't even drive the creature off, it ran away.
So, when this happens out in the wood, and I come back and tell the elders about what happened, it's make-believe that nothing like that could have happened in Balo.
Aye.
But when it comes to the town, he shuts up shop and does not want anything to do with it.
No. He's decided that it's just a random act. Surely it's not because we sent out an expeditionary force to the tree again. And we told him as much. I was there in the meeting. We held a town hall gathering afterwards the following morning after the funerals. And we told him we shouldn't have went out looking for that tree again. It's a story, and even if it's real, it brings the demon.
They vowed to never send anyone out to search for that tree again because they thought it was. They thought they sent the demon to slaughter us as a. How do you say it? A warning not to go near the tree. Why would they send another expedition?
Because that was years ago, and since then, the elders are gone, past. God's bless him, and it's now just a mayor. And he's taken it upon himself now to lead Balo in a new direction.
Who is this mayor? I will have a conversation with him.
Mayor Jack Frost.
Where's my pen? Shit.
Young, arrogant, full of himself.
Does this name ring a bell to me? Did I grow up with this man?
No, actually, you wouldn't have.
No.
Well, you would have been at the same time as him, but he'd been older than you by a few years. Mayor Jack Frost. But again, he's an arrogant, full of himself prick.
He's not met us really on Ravenor.
No, heck, he hasn't yet. But I'm sure as fuck he will.
I am Balo's favorite son. To some people. More so to myself.
I like your attitude there, boy. But anyway, so we all agree the general consensus in the town is he shouldn't have sent out that force. They're dead. We've lost 10 men in that wood. We lost 6 here a couple of nights ago. How many more are gonna die?
Is there any sort of anything that links the attacks together?
Not that I can tell. It's the first time the beast has even come out the wood.
That is the strange part. The beast, all of the beasts don't venture out of the woods. Normally when
Really?
you go in there, you're in their playground.
Exactly. And that's what's concerning. We've had the occasional dire hound that was straying a little bit too close to camp, but we'll drive them off no bother. And this is the first time since your incident that we've lost this many to a monster.
Has anyone heard from the Wild Mother? Does anyone even pray to her anymore?
In our own little ways, I'm personally not the biggest religious man, but I know that a lot of the folk here still do hold their ties to her, and will still do their prayers and keep up the blessings. I'll do my part now and again during the big celebrations, of course, but I'm not the man to pray every single night, unfortunately. And if I need to apologize for that, I will.
What about her in the woods? You don't think this has anything to do with her, do you?
Do you know what? This is one of those few times I don't think it has anything to do with her. That tricksy hag, she's up to something all the time. I think this is something unrelated for once. She's never ever done something like this before to us. I don't think she'd start now. This is purely to do with that tree and the mayor's fuck up.
The one thing that is throwing me, the fact that the beast has came out of the woods. It has shown itself. Normally
Aye.
it relies on its speed and its agility to dart in between the trees and the foliage and the dark of night and not be seen. I don't understand.
If I might
Something's...
interject a
Certainly.
little and just ask
Sorry, sir,
something.
yeah. Of course.
You said the mayor's taken Balo in a new direction.
Aye.
In what way do you mean that?
Well, beforehand, we were very much an elder system. You know, the town elders would convene and form a council, so to speak. Now it's just him, and he's sort of taken over the reins. He's now leading it as his show. So before it was a community, we did things together. We decided as a people what's best for Balo. Now it's his call.
So what's his
And
interest
he's
in the
been
tree?
Expansionism.
Right.
Plain and simple as that. He's heard the old stories that our parents were told, gestures towards Israeli, that our parents were told way back when. A promised land. A place of salvation. But he's not heeded the warning since of, we can't go there without death, and too much of it. It summons the demon.
Alright. Israelian. I hate to ask this, but do you remember the way?
I can try and find the way.
By the looks of it, whenever you walk out towards the tree, the monster answers.
Perhaps it knows I am coming for it. I will try and speak to it.
A good
You're
sign,
trying
though.
to speak to the beast.
Internally. Let it know my presence is here.
Hopefully when you're going to plan and speak with it internally is with your sword piercing through its fucking gullet.
See when this beast is slain. You will be the first to see its head.
Good. I'd really like that a lot.
We have to be careful approaching the tree just in case it triggers
Well,
an
here's
attack.
the tree's nowhere near here. It's way in the middle. When we were kids, the scouts that reported finding it took them weeks to return.
Those woods are mysterious, though. Even the most
I've never
deft of
ventured in
explorers
there.
get lost.
It's I've been told that by the people who have. You can't get a bearing and you can't keep your north. It's disorientating, so I'm not surprised it took them as long as it did. But aye,
The trees are
You
so
know
tall.
that-
The foliage is so thick and
suffocating.
yes.
I would personally
People-
never venture forth past the tree line. Only time was to cut a young tree down to use here, but I'll never ever go inside that wood.
I don't know if we should pay the mayor a visit before we head into the woods.
But again, he doesn't know I've even put that letter out because after we had the town hall meeting to ask him, should we ask for help and put out a contract from this beast, he immediately said we know we're superstitious here, and he called it such superstitious nonsense, but there's something more to this, and he just refuses to admit responsibility that we made a mistake. He made a mistake. We shouldn't be looking for that blasted tree. He's summoned the demon again, and it's back to haunt us and kill us.
Actor, he doesn't need to know that you have sent out this contract for me. All he needs to know is I have returned home. I am on travels. I am on duty.
It's your choice. As long as you please don't mention what I've put out.
Of course not.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course not.
If you want to meet the mayor, by all means, he'll be in his office.
R2, is Kinthier still in town? The apothecary.
Sure. Of course, he's in the top there still. Hi, 100%.
Sorry, Israel, if you were. Don't mean
No.
to interrupt.
We can pay both a visit. We can go to Kinfear first. See what he has to offer. Potions may come in handy in this place. And then we pay the mayor a visit. What time would you say it is? Roughly, we've just travelled.
Yeah, so it's still morning. Yeah, we're still like 9 a.m. at the latest.
Personally, I don't think the woods are the best place to go in the middle of the night. I would say we are best to do our business quick and early in the morning, head on in, say around early afternoon, mid-morning, sorry, and then try and make our way back out before nightfall. It will be tough to know our way around these woods and understand the concept of time, but I'm sure we will be fine.
If you can
You
kill
know,
this creature by nightfall, I'll be fucking impressed, Israelian.
It is what I do.
What's this world made of you, boy? You're not the same shy little man that I met when we were out playing in the woods.
That is what trauma does to you.
I'm sorry.
Kill or be killed.
Survival of the fittest in its finest form. And by looks things, you're the fittest one here.
Thank you.
Shut up.
You know I don't take compliments very well.
Still?
Ever. I mean, I've grown up a boy in this place. I was nothing. I was a liar. The mark on my face was done by nothing. So, you learn to roll with the punches.
As long as you can give them back, that's the main thing.
Oh, I give them back.
Good. Well, look, if there's anything I can do, let me know. I'm not a fighter myself, and I will not go in the wood. But if you need a place to stay whilst you're in town, if you want the money, if you want the heirloom, you know, if you just want something to talk with, I'm here.
What is the heirloom? Can we ask?
It's a sword.
Can I see it?
Sure, you want me to see it? I'm sure. If you
kind of
hang
sword?
out, longsword.
Don't look at straight.
Of course, his ears pick up.
Matt's slung a finesse longsword at us before.
I just bear with me for a second. It's in my house. If you stay here, I'll go grab it for you and show it off, so to speak. And the halfling will out the wood workshop, and then maybe not even 5 minutes later, he'll shuffle back in again. His halfling form carrying this longsword. Here it is, and he places it on one of the many woodwork tables, and he throws the cloth back, and it initially doesn't look like much. The blade is not designed in any way past sheer functionality. There is no, fancy emblems across it, any flares or finesse. It just looks like a longsword blade. The hilt is much of a muchness. It's almost deliberately bland. Bar at the base of the hilt, at the very at the pommel of the hilt, there is a large purple gem. Oh, sorry, pink gem. Sorry, that just sort of, even now, just light out of it. You can even feel the thrum. Like I said, I know it doesn't look like much. I'm sorry about that, but it's been passed down from generation to generation in my family. Back when we were tall, before the It's said to hold a powerful soul within. So powerful, in fact, that the sword was once upon a time angry, and people that picked up the sword would die immediately. You can't even like hold the sword without being killed immediately. However, my ancestors then were able to calm the soul inside, and it was quite a powerful weapon. Since then, we've not been a family of fighters in a long, long time, and it's just been sitting there. I'm happy to part with it.
Leave it with us.
Thank you. He throws the cloth back over the sword again.
Any use twitching, itching?
He's just dropped the battle order that we've been searching for a little bit. Wash, how's that axe looking?
Should be back in the bag of holding.
Oh yes, that's what it is. I forgot because you've got the warhammer now. Shit. We might have just found a sister.
Back to holding.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, outside of obviously the conversation, looking at Falcoris, we kind of look towards, I suppose Elril and Lavender, because obviously, like we know the most of this lore of this sword and the axe and all this, and we just be like whisper to like Elril while they're having a conversation. You don't think that's the other soul, do you?
I mean, it was supposed to be trapped in the short sword, but it was released. It could be.
It's really on.
Or spend some time with it.
Yes.
If we can have a sidebar, if you don't mind.
What?
Is this one that you want me to leave the room for, or?
No, we'll go over here.
Right, right. Sure, yeah.
That family heirloom might be worth to us.
What do you mean?
We've been searching for a certain soul that's was once trapped in another blade. What he just described is very similar to what we've been looking for a long time.
Okay. I'm listening.
We don't accept his gold, but maybe we accept the heirloom.
If you need the sword, then take the sword. I don't want any payment for this job. If that sword is more important to you than gold, do it. Take it.
It's the reason
Don't
why
have
I'm
to say
talking.
no.
It's the reason why I'm talking to you. I don't want it to seem like we're going over your head and being greedy. It's just this sword might pair up with something that we've been encountering in our past and still have on our person, essentially.
May I see it? Maybe not now, but at some time.
The axe.
Aye.
All right. Just pre-warning. It talks. It's not very happy half the time. In fact, all of the time. Wash, I think you know more about it now than the rest of us.
We could always take the sword with us and see how the axe reacts in the forest. And if this is nothing and we decide we don't want the sword, we can always return it later.
Well,
Get back to Bela.
I think if you are saying that these blades are one, then why don't we take them, see how they pair up, but we don't shed blood with the sword. I will not taint this blade, this family heirloom, when it is not ours.
I'll be entirely honest, I don't really think you want to do that. I really don't think you want to put it into a situation where you could draw blood. These two things. Where can I? Can I use my fucking
Divine
good and
sense.
evil thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what it is, but
Yep.
and look at both weapons.
Yeah. I need to clarify one thing. You take the axe at the bag of holding, though, yeah?
I will take the axe out of the bag of holding. Yes.
You take the axe out of the bag of holding, and before you can even contemplate casting a spell, the voice crashes into your head like a police raid breaking through a door at 2 a.m. It's fucking brutal. And it just screams, "There she is." And we're gonna fade to black here,
Oh.
but we're not quite done with the episode just yet.
Uh-oh.
2 seconds.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. Sorry.
Wait, just like, has Kenku been working this whole time?
Yes?
Yeah.
I've not heard anything. Why have I not heard that?
You got
It's
to
been
mute it.
muted for me.
You got to
Was it
mute it.
volume?
Oh, it was down incredibly low. That's why.
Oh. He just raw dogged a full D&D
Oh, it was-
session.
Yeah, just
Audio.
in the session with no ambience whatsoever.
Late in the nighttime air, nature's nocturnal orchestra is in full performance. The crickets chirp and communicate with one another from tree to tree. The occasional owl hoots through the darkness, and the crackles of a few fires create a nice soothing sound. Deep in the wood, tucked away by the thick trees, the settlers are resting, sat around these aforementioned fires or in tents, getting ready for sleep. All around the perimeter, some keep a watchful eye into the darkness looking for danger. In the center of this group are a collection of tents, and in one such tent is a young boy being tucked into bed by his mother. She smiles as she pulls the fur blanket over his body and to fend off the cold night air. "It is time to sleep, my love," she says, stroking his hair. The boy looks up at her with a slight frown. "What are we doing in these woods away from home? I want to go back." His mother gives him a sympathetic look down as she reaches out to hold one of his smaller hands in both of hers. "I'm so sorry, my dear, but soon this land will be your home. We have been given a very important job to expand. We will be able to go back and forth, I promise, but here and forward is where we need to go now. Duty calls for us. Not for us, but for other families too." She leans forward and plants a soft kiss against his forehead. "But don't you worry, that's for another problem for another day. Tonight, my son, all you need to worry about is getting to sleep. And we will be..." She is cut off by the sound of someone calling out in Elvish, a language that the boy hasn't quite picked up just now yet. His mum stands up, seemingly alert, and with a stern tone, tells the boy to stay put. Excuse me. She opens the tent flap and disappears out into the night air, letting a swift cold breeze as she does. The boy does what he says. He lays back down in his bed and he pulls the blanket over a little bit tighter, concerned. Suddenly, there is a scream, and all chaos seems to break loose as multiple voices and multiple languages scream out in terror, pain, anguish, and fear. The boy futilely throws his hands over his ears to attempt to hide the horrible sounds calling out from the woods around him, but it's in vain. Slowly, though, the old twang of fear strikes into his heart, remembering his mother is outside. So slowly and carefully, he moves to the end of the tent and peers out. The young boy is treated with a sight most awful. Blood, bodies, and bones, all scattered across the ground. The boy feels his stomach churn, the acrid feeling of vomit in the back of his throat, and without warning, suddenly a man is thrown through the side of the tent that he's just been sitting in, tearing a hole through the fabric. Well, half a man. The legs are missing, and where there were legs, entrails are hanging out where they used to be. The boy scrambles to his feet and runs out the tent, fully into the open air. However, he stops and drops down to his belly, remembering his lessons exactly what his mother taught him when there's a monster attack. He crawls through the bloody mud, away from the campsite, trying to find safety. All around him, he sees a sight of settlers laying in the ground, dead or dying, covered with horrific and violent wounds. A familiar voice calls out into the darkness, but not so much a voice, but a scream. As the boy turns over his shoulder, he sees his mother standing a few fires away, armed with a crossbow in her hand, her face and clothes painted red with blood splatters. And then before the boy can move, call out, or even blink, there is a shimmer of something fast that streaks in front of her. The shimmer passes off to her side behind a collection of trees, and she looks at him as if she knew he was there the whole time, as her neck opens up and crimson pours down her chest onto the floor. And as her eyes roll back into the back of her head, her whole body follows suit, tumbling to the dirt beneath. The boy screams in pain and anguish. Excuse me, seeing this grim sight. But before he can get the scream to end, the shimmer then slams itself into him from behind, picking him up and throwing him off to the side and against the tree. The emotional pain becomes physical as heavy claws drag over his face and torso. He hits this tree hard. He sees white as he falls down. All he can hear is a high-pitched ring in his ears, and everything goes dark. He tries to open his eyes. It hurts to do so, but eventually he pushes them open. And apparently time has passed as he can see no longer violence, but this hulking figure, canine in nature on all fours, its long maw currently eating the body of one of the settlers nearby. The boy blinks, or he thinks is a blink, but clearly some more time has passed, as he now sees the creature pulling the body of his mother somewhere deep into the dark wood. The next thing he knows, he is cold, he is wet. It's morning. Following the wagon wheels trails and the bloody footprints, he makes his way back for the next couple of days to Balo. He sees the outskirts of the town, and villagers rush forward to meet him, where he falls onto his knees and collapses. The next time the boy wakes up, he's in Kinthir's apothecary. He is covered in bandages, and underneath him, covered in scars, physical and mental, that will never quite heal. And that is on tonight's episode of The Shadows We Fear. Dun dun dun.
Well, damn.
There we go.
It's, it's been so long since it's happened that that you recorded all the session zeros.
Yeah.
So you can play as it got revealed. So it was that kind of exit monologue really felt like
That's all we're looking to go for there.
Yeah, okay.
But thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming. Look, Andy, before you jump off, any goodbyes, announcements, or?
We do have a bit of
Thank you.
announcements because some people got happy and gifting subs and following and these kind of things. So just to take it from the start, basically, Renzuki, thank you for the good old Prime for 2 months. Thank you to our very own Elril stroke Kilgorm stroke Ghost Malone for gifting subs, and also to our very own
obliged
the hype train. Thank you to our very own Taylor, who also gave subs. So thank you for that. And then Polar Knights, thank you for following as well. I hope you enjoyed the story, and tune in for the rest of this shenanigans that continues on. I am also going to raid another D&D party tonight.
Raiding.
Yes, we've not done it in a while, and I thought we would just go in and we'll just give a little bit of love out and spread the community about. But just as always, please respect our community and go out and talk to them a little bit, listen to the story, and just represent us as Immersive Realms as good as you can. We appreciate that. Spread the love. But yeah, apart from that, no other announcements. So hand it back to you as I sort this out.
Thank you very much. Well, as Andy was saying, thank you to all the gifters in chat. Thank you to the followers. Thank you just being in chat as well and typing away. It's been quite a nice little fun chat to watch this evening pass me by. But as per usual, we're going to raid as Andy has said. Thank you so much to everybody who has come along. Thank you again to my lovely players. Thank you to Nikki as well for giving me an awesome backstory to work with and do this whole scene setting thing. So thank you so much for that one. Excuse me. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of the evening as well. We should be back next week with Any Given Luck. Until then, come say hello to us in the Discord. Enjoy your nights,